Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson, a World Alternative Media here, and neocon globalist scumbag extraordinaire Jared Kushner is under intense scrutiny by the FBI in their Russian collusion probe. Of course, as the Washington Post reported, interestingly enough, a mere minute before NBC wrote nearly the same story. I wonder if they coordinated. Well, we here at WHAM understand Operation Mockingbird well, so this is not surprising. Anyways, according to these mainstream fake news rags, and I quote, "The Post has not been told that Kushner is a target or the central focus of the investigation, and he has not been accused of any wrongdoing. Target is a word that generally refers to someone who is the main suspect of investigators' attention, though prosecutors can and do bring charges against people who are not marked with that distinction." Now, as Zero Hedge reports, not surprisingly, NBC's report is lacking on actual facts on why Kushner may be a person of interest in the FBI's inquiry, but is long on innuendo as they point out that he met at least once in December with the Russian ambassador Sergei Kislyak, and he also met last year with a Russian banker, Sergei Gorkov. I guess the name Sergei is quite popular in Russia. Now, Kushner's lawyer says he plans to cooperate entirely with the probe. Now, we at WHAM recently posted a video exposing Kushner for his Soros connection, and we would lose no sleep seeing him get in a little bit of trouble. However, the whole narrative is completely absurd. It's a true example of media brainwashing when everyone is in lockstep with people like Hillary Clinton and Maxine saying Russia, Russia, Russia without any actual evidence, especially with everything else we've seen in the news. Trump is no true enemy of the deep state, and we've seen him ramp up tensions between the US and Russia over Syria, where he fell for an obvious false flag, and nearly caused a conflict with Russia. And a conflict with Russia, if violent, usually means World War III. According to Zero Hedge, coalition-led airstrikes in Syria killed a total of 225 civilians between April 23rd and May 23rd, the highest 30-day death toll for US-led forces since the campaign began, Agenda France Press reported. That's nearly double the number of intended targets. The US-led strikes killed 122 ISIS fighters and 8 fighters loyal to the Syrian government, the report said. This is the 5th month straight that the US beat Russia in civilian murders in Syria. Russia, the same country that the media claims is massacring civilians in Syria. Every official is saying there is absolutely no evidence of collusion between the Russians and the Trump campaign, but the media and leftists constantly regurgitate the same Russia collusion talking points. It's pathetic. Meanwhile, the media freaks out over Trump sharing classified info with Russian officials on Russia's recent Washington trip. There were a couple people in the room that witnessed Trump's exchange with the Russians, and all of those people claimed they didn't leak such info and that the media is basically just making up the story. What's new? On top of this, the classified info was apparently the fact that terrorists plan to bring laptop bombs on planes. Pretty much a no-brainer, but the media doesn't mention that because people's common sense might kick in and see that this isn't all that terrifying and damning. And let's not forget the new evidence that shows Seth Rich leaked DNC info to WikiLeaks just before being murdered, proving that Russia did not hack that info. But of course, anyone in the media that dares to report on that gets threatened with being fired. There is no collusion. Let me just say that one more time. There is no collusion. In fact, I would prefer collusion. It would mean that we're not as likely to enter nuclear war. This is all a big distraction from the issues that we actually do face as our individual liberties are eroded one by one and the people bow down in servitude to the state, enslaved by debt via central planning and waiting for the artificial market to come down. The ticking of the time bomb getting even louder as people turn their heads and scream, "Russia!" Individuals who claim to be for peace should not endorse violent aggression, risking entire collectives. Individuals who claim to be for peace should instead support voluntary interactions, free of coercion. Peace is not force. Peace is not aggression. except in the use of defense of life, liberty, and property. And that comes down to the decision of the individual, not the collective. The sooner people understand this, the sooner we can stop creating Hegelian problems and destabilizing the world further with each passing day. This isn't rocket science. Thanks for watching, everyone. You can check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon. We can't do it without you. Any donation is very much appreciated, especially as we are so vastly demonetized and censored by YouTube. Also, check our Bitcoin address in the description and the comments, as well as on the screen for you to scan, if you please. And also, see our link for the Red Pill Expo below, where you can see people like Robert Kiyosaki, G. Edward Griffin, Lord Monckton, Jeff Berwick, Ty Bollinger, Mike Adams, Cynthia McKinney, Richard Gage, James Corbett, Joel Salatin, John Rappaport, and the list goes on and on and on. We hope to see you there. It takes place in Bozeman, Montana on June 23rd and 24th. But until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.